My name is Lisa Pressler. I ride as a survivor, and I am president of Garden State Concerns of Police Survivors. It's a peer support organization for surviving family members and affected coworkers of law enforcement officers killed in line of duty. Not that many survivors that do ride. This year we had a larger amount of survivors because we joined up with another chapter, and a lot of these survivors came from California, and I know these women from going to a spouse's retreat or Cops Kids Camp, which is part of Concerns of Police Survivors, so I had known them already, and which was nice. We usually only saw these ladies right before we went into the actual memorial, the last day of riding, and we always did our little yearly picture, but it was nice to have them with us the whole tour. Whenever I come across another survivor and they're surprised that I ride, I'm like, please, I'm surprised too, But they're like, oh, I can never do that, and my response is always like, well, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's my 8th year riding. I ride in memory of my husband. He was killed in the line of duty in 2007. He was on his way to a call, full lights and sirens. The deer entered the roadway. He swerved to avoid the deer, causing him to lose control of the car. And the car spun around and he hit a tree, and he was killed instantly. At the time, our 2 daughters were 4 and 5 years old. So we did this past May, we did ride by. The guys at the unit who are so good to me, they know I don't like to go to the crash site. That's not something my children and I do. So they asked me what I felt and what I wanted to do this year. My kids were out there. We all were handed a flower as we rode by. And that was huge for my kids to be involved in something like that, because they're always interested in anything to keep their dad's memory alive. But the last day we ride in, when we actually ride into the National Law Enforcement Memorial, they put all the survivors up in front. It's 9 years my husband was gone, and I think, all right, I'll be okay. I'm not going to cry this year. But as you come up to that wall and the block before, and you see all the crowd out there, and everybody's clapping and screaming and stuff and cheering for you, you can't help but get emotional. This year, having my kids part of it, that was emotional. They were handing out flowers this year. That was really big for my kids. So to see myself coming up, I'm anticipating, I'm riding up to his, where he was killed. But before I get there, I see my 2 kids out there. So that was really nice. When I'm out there and it's rough, or it's raining, or it's hot, or I'm cold, or just tired, I think about my husband. Because I say to myself, he would give anything to be out here on this bike, riding in the cold, riding in the wind, and that keeps me going. I always tell them it's just such a positive experience, because a lot of people do not have the support from their local police departments where their officer was killed. Where at the Unity Tour, they don't care what department you're from. You're a survivor and you're part of the Blue family, and they take care of you and they welcome you, and they honor your officer even if they didn't know your officer. So many of these people that I ride with and I'm friendly with, they never worked with my husband, didn't even know my husband. And they are so good to me, my family. I can't thank them enough for allowing me to be part of this experience. I say next year's my last year, but I don't know about that. Because now that I think about it, I don't want it to end. I would hope that one day my girls will take over riding for their father.